So Microsoft just released the Translator application. This helps you to translate between languages. So if you're a traveler, you find yourself in cities, countries where the language is not, you do not understand language, this is a useful application to use on your Windows device. So I'm going to go in, show you how to use this, run a quick demo. So this is the welcome screen. This translator application is powered by Bing, just like the Android version is powered by Google Translate. So the first screen, you can translate text by typing in the text with your keyboard. You can use the camera to just take a picture of the text, and this is a really cool function right here. Then you have voice, which is another cool feature where you just point your phone to where the sound source is coming from, and it translates it for you to whatever desired language you want. So then there is settings and help. So just show you the help, gives you brief instructions on how to use the application. So here for keyboard, you just type your text in. As you can see, tap. You can actually hear the words that you type in too. So I'll show you that in a bit. And the camera too, you just point your phone's camera to the text. We'll also do a demo of that in a bit. And voice, where you also just speak into your phone and it translates it for you. So another cool option is you can actually download language packs. The reason is most translate applications actually work over your data connection. So Translator is the first translate application that works offline. So you would not find any translate application that you can use without having data connection. Why is this useful? Say you're in a small village in Germany, for instance, and you're lost and you need to find your way. If you do download the German language pack here, as you can see, I'm going to do that in a bit. You can probably, that small village, there is no GSM signal. Your phone doesn't, so therefore you cannot use your internet. This is a nice way to you can just download the whole language pack and you can use it offline, so you do not need your data connection. So that's one of the main features, in my opinion, of the Translator application. So I'm just going to download this German language pack here. As you can see, it's downloading there. So while that's going on, let's go back. I can choose to download another language pack. Right now, languages that work in offline mode are Spanish, French, Italian, and Chinese. I am downloading the German pack. I'm going to download the Spanish here too. Just click on the download button there. So it says, so you probably have to wait for the German pack to finish, get completed. So here, these are all the languages you can choose from that you can use in offline mode. So let's go back. So here in history, this pane shows you your recent translations. I just downloaded this application, so there are no translations I have done. So what else? So yeah, while the German pack is right here, it's still downloading. So I just wait for that to finish. So I am downloading over Wi-Fi. It's recommended you do download this over your Wi-Fi connection. You do not want to use your take up all your data capacity with this download. It's though it's not a lot, it's just 38 MB, but it would not allow you to download this with your phone. You actually have to have a Wi-Fi connection. So let's go back while that installs. So say for instance you're using your keyboard, the default is from English to Spanish, so I'm going to type something in here. in English, and it's going to give me the Spanish translation. So I say, where are you going? That's what I just typed in case you can't see it. Keep making mistakes. So there, so I typed in English, where are you going, and just press the enter button down here and it gives you translation. So the translation in Spanish is ¿A dónde vas? You can actually, you know, if you have trouble pronouncing these words, you can actually listen to the voiceover and, you know, get the actual way the sentence is being said. So I'm just,
¿A dónde vas?
so there you go.
¿A dónde vas?
So it actually gives you a verbal translation of whatever text you put in. So alternatives here, you can choose some languages. You can say certain phrases in different ways. So some languages do have alternative translation. So if they do, some do not. But when they do, you would actually see those alternatives under the alternatives pane. So you can actually choose from different languages. So here I chose to type in English. So this is your imputed language here on the left. Then you want to translate to, there's a bunch of languages here from Arabic, Bulgarian, Chinese, Czech, Dutch, Finnish, Greek, Hebrew. So there's a quick translation in Finnish just because it's Nokia's home country. So just click on start. There is the Finnish translation. Mini olet menossa, but you're not sure, again, just press on the speaker.
Minne olet menossa?
And you get an idea of the verbal translation of what you said. So that's a nice look at the keyboard function of the Translator application. Next up is, before we go to camera, just check up on, so I have fully installed the German pack on my phone. It's important to note that there are just 5 languages available to work in offline mode: Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, and German. More language packs will be added in the near future, but for now, just this 5. So I am going to install the Spanish offline mode language pack. So while that downloads, let's go back. So again, remember under the history, you will see your recent translations would appear here, so you can always make reference to your translations here. So camera mode. So in camera mode, how this works is, first off, this is the UI. What it looks like is it's currently going to translate from Spanish to English. So say you're in Mexico or Spain or whatever country they speak Spanish, you know, you see a sign, you're not sure what the sign says, you can just bring out your phone, point your camera to the text, and it translates it automatically right there. So let me do a brief demo here. So I took the pane of, so I have a nice text here. I'm going to translate. I type this in Spanish, so there, it actually gives you the translation on your screen. So once you see your translation, if you want to save it, down there it has it says tap to pause. You can just tap that to pause this. You do want your camera to be pointed at the text. Then you press the tap to pause button. So I'm gonna do a quick demo. So I have my text here. So there, you're gonna see it actually translate the text for you. So once it's done, you just tap to pause. Hold on, let's try that again. So once it's translated, just press on tap to pause and it saves. So there you see the text in English. So if it's a long text, you don't want to hold your camera up for long, you can just tap to pause. Once it's translated, you can just save it. Once you click on save, it actually saves it to your, I'll show you in a bit. Or you can edit that text too. So you click on the edit and it shows you your translations there, and you can just click on the speaker to say whatever your translation is, or you can edit that text from up here. So that's it's a really nice function of the Translator application. So let's go back. Actually, I have other text here we can try out. So I can see I did type a couple of phrases in English, and I'm just gonna try to change my options here. So I'm gonna have text in English, and I'm gonna translate it to, let's say, French. No, let's choose something else, something not common. So I'm gonna translate it to Russian. So say okay. So again, you point your camera towards the text, it autofocuses and it translates. That's simple. So I have translated this. Once I'm done, click on tap to pause, and there we have our text in Russian. You can click on save, it saves it to your phone. So you can actually see that saved text in your pictures. So you can go to your pictures and you can go through that text. If you click on edit, you actually get to hear what it sounds like in Russian. So essentially, Translator actually converts text, physical text from signs, and you actually get to hear how they're pronounced. So click on the speakers here.
Английский, куда вы собираетесь? Я прихожу домой. Я сплю. Вызовите вашего брата для меня. Фантазии на стакан воды. Вы голодны. Меня зовут Павел. У меня есть синий автомобиль. Мой телефон.
So there. So that whole phrase typed in English, it translated every single one of it, and gave me a verbal translation of every single phrase that I typed in. So this is really a nice feature of the Translator application. So that is the camera mode. Next up is voice. So in voice, it's pretty simple. You just speak into your phone, click on listen here, and it translates it for you to your desired language. So the default is Spanish. I can change that to something else. I'm gonna say Vietnamese. Say okay. So, where are you going? So it translates it for you. So there, I said where are you going, and that is the translation. You can choose to edit your, probably the speakers don't get your words, you can actually choose to type it. So you have the keyboard function within the voice function of the Translator application. Trying to see, there is no option for, usually there is an option to hear the verbal translation, but I think it's not available for the Vietnamese language, so I'm going to use another language here. Say for instance, let's speak Portuguese. Say okay.
Onde vai?
So there is a verbal translation. So it looks like some languages do not have a verbal interpretation, while some do. Hopefully most of them do. If they do not, I'm sure Microsoft is working on it. So yeah. Now the Spanish, so I now have the German and Spanish language is in offline mode. So what this does is, if you do not have any network signal, no data connection, you can actually still use the translator application in offline mode. To test that out, what I will be doing is, the best way to test this out is to put my phone in offline mode. Unfortunately, there is no way to turn off your 4G LTE. So what I'm going to do quickly is take out the SIM card and test translating in those languages. So I'm going to quickly turn this off. Turn this off here. It's taking a while, so okay. So I'm gonna use my SIM card key here to pop out the SIM card right here. Take the SIM card out. Turn it on. So now there is no I took out my SIM card and there is no data connection, no service. So I'm trying to simulate a no service situation with your phone. So I'm gonna put that up. So as you can see, my Wi-Fi is on. I'm going to turn that off in a bit. To turn off the Wi-Fi. So it is off. So I have absolutely no connection to the internet. So I'm going to go into my translator application here. So I'm going to do a quick so as you can see, it says you need a network connection to translate between these languages. So I cannot translate between, because the default is English to Finnish, and there is no Finnish in offline mode. The only two languages I can use are German and Spanish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings. So I can see the default for my keyboard is English to Finnish. My camera's default translations are from English to Russian. So I'm going to quickly change this to, as you can see, what's available are either from German to English, Spanish to English, English to German, English to Spanish, because these are, the application already detects that you do have these language packs on your device, so it knows you do not need network connection. So I'm going to choose one of these, say English to German, say OK. Camera mode, I'm going to say Spanish to English here, say OK. So I'm going to go back here. So I'm going to go into my keyboard now. I have access to the keyboard feature. I'm going to type in anything. I'm going to say, for instance, I am home. And say OK. And click and go. And there you have a nice translation. So it works in offline mode. Also the camera feature, I have text here in Spanish. I'm going to translate. So it's important to know you also can use this the camera mode in landscape and portrait modes. So I'm just gonna point to the text on the paper. So there you go. It translates it pretty fine. No internet connection, no, everything's all there. So you just have to keep it steady, and it autofocuses. And there. Once you're done, tap to pause. Let's try that again. So whatever text it captures gives you a translation right there. So just tap to pause, and there you have your translation, all in offline mode. So it's a nice, really nice application, this translator. One of the most useful applications I have seen from the marketplace so far. The main feature is the offline mode, the ability to download your language packs and install them on your device and be able to use it offline. Saves you data connection cost and usage. So Translator app is really amazing. So again, your recent translations all come up here. So you can give it a try. It is free from the marketplace, and this has been a look at the Translator app powered by Bing for the Nokia Lumia 900.